Radio. So, why do I have Wikipedia up? Well, fans of the JT Corona channel and fans of Nickel All Stars across the board, I am sure you are being inundated with tier list after tier list of competitive viability and even the occasional, wish list for future characters in this game. That is not the way your boy JT Corona is going to go about it. Welcome YouTube. Again, welcome Twitch to today's episode, which is going to be the IRL tier list for Nintendo All-Star Brawl. In other words, if these characters were real, what would happen? Who would win? We're going to go by actual power level of these characters and list them out in a tier list. I have 5 tiers listed out right here. I may be adding more. I might actually subtract. Who knows? But what we're going to do is we're going into each character's Wikipedia page and going off of their Wikipedia bio just to see and judge how strong they are. I am actually not super duper familiar with all these characters, like Lincoln and Lucy Loud. I don't know who they are. April O'Neil, again, I don't know you. Korra, I know who you are, but I never saw your whole thing. And everybody else, for the most part, yeah, I'm pretty familiar with. But I'm sure Wikipedia is going to open my eyes to a lot of things I didn't know about these characters. So the S tier, you're going to have the World Destroyers, right? These are your... There's no chance of anything beating these guys. These guys are completely overpowered. In a one-on-one fight, I do not stand a chance. In tier 2, we probably have something along the lines of powerful, but not a world threat. Yeah, so we're talking like, these guys can take over an entire country. Could probably, take on many nations' militaries, but maybe not, not quite the world destroyer. Strong, but what am I going to say? Strong, but not ridiculous. These are your characters that are, more based in reality, something that would be akin to an animal or a human being. Nothing special. Yeah, nothing special. Yeah. And then, of course, you have the wimpy tier down here. So yeah, I might be adding more tiers. I might actually make a tier for specific characters if I if I feel so inclined. But yeah, that's your basic tier list. That's what we're gonna have here. So I'm gonna enlisting the help of Wikipedia. I know again I'll definitely be needing it for some characters. There are some characters off the bat that I just don't know. Like, how tall is Reptar? That's really gonna go into where I rank him. Is he like, is it like a Charizard situation where we all think he's this massive thing, but he ends up being like what, 5'1" or something like that. Yeah, let's get into it. So the first character is Invader Zim, who low key I think might be the strongest character, but we'll see. Invader Zim, let's go. Zim from Invader Zim. All right. Doom, 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 doom. Let's see. All right. So Invader Zim, yada, yada, yada. Let's see. Characters. Da, 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 da. That's really cool that there was a comic continuation and that there was a Netflix adaptation. I didn't even know that. Let's see. I'm just trying to think. Yes, Invader Zim characters. Zim. All right. Zim. Voiced by this Richard dude. Yada, yada, yada. Isn't it? He was arrogant, foul-tempered, reckless, overzealous, uppity, impatient, impulsive, naive, megalomaniacal, and convinced of his own greatness. This is all the makings of a truly powerful character. His dreams of regaining his leader's trust by taking part in Operation Pending Doom 2. So Zim is assigned as an invader to Earth, a planet which the almighty Talos believe has little to no chance of existing. However, against all odds, Zim makes it to Earth and establishes a base on a fake conquest mission. All right, let's see. All right, he's equipped with a pack, a cybernetic backpack-like device with life support, amongst other gadgets, retractable robotic spider legs that enable him to move around quickly and can climb almost any obstacle. All right, and Gur is obviously a weapon that he has. I'm going to count Gur being a part of him. Trash can they found the pockets of top secret, yada yada yada. Let's see. All right, so basically, we have an alien with the ability to take over the planet. If only his own cockiness and arrogance didn't get in his own way. He has access to interstellar travel. He has like the cybernetic backpack by itself is, crazy by itself. Is Zim a world threat? Is Zim a world threat? If a focused Zim and a focused Gur is a world destroyer, but can he hold on to it? I'm gonna put him up here for now, but that's only because I just don't know if he has like the the mental fortitude to keep the focus. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's so goddamn strong. And he has so much technology. Like, he himself is not strong, but the technology that he has at his arsenal is absolutely insane. Again, we're coming from a super advanced alien race, and these guys go around the universe collecting planets. And if, God forbid, the tallest ever gave him 1% of what they give to any other of their soldiers, we're in a lot of trouble. So just based on potential alone and the ease of actually obtaining such potential, I'm going to put him in the World Destroyer category for now. SpongeBob, me boy. SpongeBob is a character. All right. Yada yada yada. Good-natured, naive, enthusiastic sea sponge. He was born in 1986. So he's almost a boomer. Obviously, obviously, sea sponges are not exactly the strongest of all characters. I'm trying to think of like some of the crazier things that SpongeBob has done. His bubble attack is actually kind of overpowered. He could do a shit ton of damage with his bubbles. The man makes a mean Krabby Patty. But I gotta kind of keep these things in context, right? The guy has an incredible can-do-it attitude. But yeah, look at this. Yeah, see, sea sponge. These things are millimeters big. And yes, he can, blow a bubble and encapsulate and move things that are huge to his size, but compared to how big he actually is, a pineapple is his home, right? A pineapple is his entire house. Like, that's not that big. He's able to draw characters that come to life and are able to cause havoc in an ecosystem that exists under the sea. But in terms of like actual damage to the coming, actual, taking over anything, he's got it down there. My boy's got it down there. I'm sorry to say, he's not going to do much damage. I mean, again, fans at home, definitely feel free to, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's definitely going down the wimpy category. He can't breathe air, obviously. He dries out. He takes damage from the environment once he leaves, the ocean. Many predators. Yeah. All right. Lucy Loud. What is this show in the first? The Loud House. I never saw this show. I've never. I don't think I've even heard of this show. When did this show run from? Like, how long was this show? Like, I might as well do Lincoln now that I'm here too. But all right, so yeah, all right, the Loud House. The Loud. When did this even come out? What is this? The Loud House. Um. Okay. They've had 125 episodes. They're 5 seasons in. I mean, again, I haven't seen Nickelodeon for freaking ever. Is it still running to this day? Yeah, it started in 2016 and it's still running to this day. All right. I'm going to familiarize myself with this really fast. Chaotic boy named Lincoln Loud, middle child and only son of a large 11 child family. Um, is this basically just a show about kids? I'm just reading really fast. Has been picked up for 13 episodes. Yada yada yada. Um, I'm just trying to read about anything. All right. Again, talking about praise for interracial gay married couples. Very positive forward show. The number one children's animated series on television within its first month of wow, beating out SpongeBob. That's crazy. All right, the character himself, like they just seem like kids. They just seem like kids. I mean, they seem like powerful, like potentially powerful characters in what is it, the actual game itself. But as it stands, like yeah. So you're what 11? How old is he? All right, let's go back to the characters for a second. Lincoln. Yeah, Lincoln is 11, and Lucy is 8. 8 and 9 years old. Stockings, black dress, shoes, pale skin, long hair. Often appears out of nowhere. She is a fortune teller and has predictions. All right, has predictions that come out to be true. The Mortician's Club. All right, so she has like, yeah, she has future telling powers. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's not nothing. All right. Superheroes. He likes superheroes. Does he have cooking, playing video games, magic tricks, and coaching? Helpful advice. All right. So Lincoln Loud does not sound like anybody that's worth fearing. I'm gonna put Lincoln in the wimpy tier. He's gonna go above SpongeBob though, because all he has to do is step on SpongeBob, and SpongeBob is gone. So Mr. Lincoln could go down here. However, I'm going to put you here a tier above, and I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why she's not higher, right? Um, Telling the future, being able to foresee stuff that's going to happen is very powerful. It's very good. Very, very good. See things before they happen. You're able to make adaptations and change, course correct to make it happen. However, when you're an 8-year-old child, let's be honest here, like what are you gonna do? I mean, yes, you might be able to see an attack coming towards you, but what can you do to stop it, right? So you're gonna go here just because you have something over people who are that old, but as a whole, you're not. You're still just a kid. I'm sorry to tell you. Nothing wrong with being just a kid, but that just doesn't bode well against actual world destroyers like Zim. Alrighty, so next we have Powdered Toast Man. Know of the character, just not what they may do in a real world application. All right. So, all right, Powder Toastman is endowed with various abilities, and like many superheroes, has a mysterious background and alter ego. Leave everything to me. I remember that. He can fly by releasing flatulence or inserting his head into a special toaster and launching from it. So he can't really fly per se. He can jump. He can be launched. He could be launched, or by merely pushing off the ground. He could jump. He also flies backwards. I remember this. He could hover in midair as well. Okay, he can hover. Okay, that's cool. High velocity raising shots from his mouth, highly corrosive croutons from his armpits, butter pads that are latched to the top of his head, and a hyper acidic marmalade from his navel. All right. He's apparently made of entirely powdered toast, which is a deficit for sure. And yeah. All right. A cool youth deacon. Interesting. Interesting. A little interesting. Um, Catholic high school girl. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's a little. One of the many reasons why Ren and Stimpy was seen as quite a bit. A little sketch if you catch what I'm saying. Let's say a little inappropriate for the youngins. He fights Spider-Man once. All right. After being turned by the Dr. Evil Dr. Donut, Spider gets Powder Toast Man working for good again by using milk, which stops. Crunchy. All right. I would love to see how this goes down. Okay, so he saves a Ken from being run over at the cost of an airliner, which he shot. He could shoot down. He could shoot down a plane. Okay. I'm not gonna front for a second. Based on what I was reading, I was reading a character that was just actually brings the president to him. Little Johnny. I remember Little Johnny. Yeah, I was reading a character that was not that powerful. A bit of a a bit of a glass cannon, if you will. But taking down an airplane is no is no small feat. Yeah, no. If you're shooting stuff out of your armpits and it could take down an airplane, you're powerful. You're not a world threat, but you're powerful. You're definitely very, very powerful. You're definitely quite powerful. Powder Toast Man is in this tier for sure. Nice. That's awesome. Reptar. This is actually one of the big questions that I had. So the canonical, how strong are these characters in reality? Yeah. So it's actually kind of funny because so far higher tier characters like Lucy, like SpongeBob are at the bottom, and maybe some of the lower tiers are up top. But Reptar, how tall is Reptar? That's gonna be like the end all be all answer to the question. Like, how strong is Reptar? How strong is he obviously, but how big is he? Because like again, it could be one of those situations where it's like a Charizard situation, and it's like 4'8" or whatever. Reptar is portrayed as a fictional character in Rugrats universe, analyzed, but the majority of children featured in the series, particularly Tommy Pickles and his friends. He's a gigantic green. Yeah, so yeah, he's okay. So he actually is a real T-Rex. This guy is a real T-Rex. Yeah, I remember the Rugrats films and everything, but all right. Childhood favorites. Spoof on Godzilla, but he's a uniquely weird dinosaur. All right. So that solves the question because literally Reptar could have been nothing special or something close to World Destroyer, but he's actually probably this. Now, does Reptar Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like I knew he was a T-Rex, but you could be a 4-foot T-Rex. You could be. Again, it just came down to how big he is. But you can actually see in the background of this photo there's a building, so he's like the size of a building. I'm gonna give him the spot over Powder Toast Man. He's higher on the tier list for sure. I think. Powerful but not a world destroyer. The U.S. military could take you out. You know, that's what our line here is. I think is could the U.S. military take you out? And I think the U.S. military could take out these two guys relatively easily. Zim again. He has potential to be a world beater. He could also be the biggest wimp on the list. He really could be. But his potential, I'm gonna go with potential here. Yeah, dinosaur dominates. A T-Rex is not the size of the Empire State Building. I know well, this one is. This one maybe, right? This one is, yeah. Yeah, but still, military wins out. All right. Leonardo and Michelangelo. These guys both go here. Leonardo over Michelangelo. Of course, they're gonna be tied with each other in the tier list. Let's throw up their profile really fast, but I'm pretty sure I know where this is going. Unless I'm like really missing something. Yeah, they are Renaissance style romantic period, like super skilled martial artists is what they are. Yeah, a couple of katanas. Katanas are gonna beat nunchucks all day. Yeah, and this is what it's gonna come down to. Strong but not ridiculous. This is like human plus area kind of is, and I think these guys fit in there very very well. So Nigel Thornberry. The guy is a pacifist. The guy is a total pacifist. The guy literally, I remember an episode where like they were in, was it like Transylvania or something like that? I want to say it's like yeah. Yeah, no, I mean I actually mentioned Gur when I was talking about Zim. Like when engaged is a world destroying weapon all its own. So I completely agree with that. And of course they are linked. They are together. I'm gonna count them as the same character. So Nigel Thornberry, there was literally an episode where he became a literal cuck for half of a second. The guy, they're in like, I want to say they're like Transylvania or something like that. They're in some like, maybe like Romania or something like that. One of those like romanticized like, vampiric kind of countries. Give me a second. And his wife is going on and on and on about her ex-boyfriend who lives in that area, and for some reason they go and visit him. And I think the episode, like basically the guy himself is like kidnapped or being held captive by this like freaking Ren. Like speaking of like these characters, like it looks like Ren. He's like this little goblin-looking guy who's pretending to be the guy that what's his face, or what's her face, Nigel's wife is like fawning over, and he's like, he's poking fun at it and everything, but eventually it becomes clear that that's not the guy. And then the guy comes out and he's like, oh, he really is handsome, blah, 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 blah. He's like, he's all about it. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure the man would have let the man smash his wife if he really wanted to. So, I'm gonna look him up really fast, but I like the man himself. He's just not much of a fighter. I don't think the man's much of a fighter. All right. Excuse me. Sir Nigel Archibald Thornberry is the son of Radcliffe. All right. Eccentric, enthusiastic, cheerful, even in the face of danger, is known for his exaggerated facial features and love of kippers, which he offers frequently. All right. Yeah, Marianne. Marianne's the wife. Yep. Yeah, Marianne is who I was thinking of. I forgot her name. Yeah. He just seems like a dude. He just seems like a really calm dude. A really, really calm dude. In a world where we have world beaters and everything, that's nothing special. That is nothing special. Sorry to tell you. That is nothing special. Danny Phantom. This is a good one. This is a really good one. Danny Phantom, like... Oh boy. Are you a world destroyer, Danny Phantom? Are you a world destroyer? Because I'm gonna put you here for a second, but we gotta really dig into this. Because Danny Phantom has some things. He has some things. Obviously, Danny as a teenage boy is somewhere in the nothing special category. He's like, he's like what, 13 or 14 years old. He's somewhere down here. Not a jock, not a Chad, not a Giga Chad by any means in his school, in his class by any means. But when he goes Ghost Zone, when we're in Ghost Zone, oh my goodness, supernatural powers. Like, is there a list of like his powers? All right. Negative color. Trying to just read some things that he does. I mean, the guy can go ethereal. How do you beat something that's ethereal? How do you even? Like, if this was a real thing, how do you even do it? You can't even, like... do you throw some holy water at it? Like, what the fuck do you even do? The power of Christ compels? I don't think that's gonna work. I'm sorry to tell you. Yeah, he's a legit superhero. Oh man. All right, here we go. Over time, he develops much stronger abilities such as a ghost ray, a concentrated blast of energy that he fires from his hand, his ghostly wall, an intensely powerful scream with sonic capabilities that knocks back anything caught in his path, and even cryokinesis. Like, yeah, the fact that you have this, like, you can move shit when you're in ethereal form, you might be a world destroyer. You can be. You can be a world destroyer. Intangible, able to overshadow, control people after learning how to switch back between. Oh my god. Yeah, you're a world destroyer. And you might be the strongest character on the list. Because Danny Phantom could take over Zim. He could assimilate. He can assimilate. Yeah. Yeah, no, he could assimilate Snom if he wanted to. Yeah, no, okay. Well, this has been a shockingly even tier list so far. Yeah, Danny Phantom, powerful. All right, I'm gonna put you above Nigel. From yeah, Helga Geraldine Pataki. All right, she's 9 to 10 years old, cynical, mean, rude, deceitful. Local bully. She has some fighting skills. She's definitely one of the toughest kids there is. The question is does she beat Lucy, who is her same age but can predict the future? I think that Lucy beats her. just because this fortune teller. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Raw strength or some ability. There's always some over reliance when it comes to these kind of abilities sometimes. So maybe Helga. I'm gonna put Helga above. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good matchup. These two would have a really good matchup, but I think they both beat Nigel. I don't think Nigel can do anything. Sorry to say. Um, even in the game. True story. Okay. You are gonna go in the lower part of nothing special. Um, well, hang on. How? Hmm. All right. Black and white striped monster with an upside down candy, shaped like an upside down candy cane, who comes from a wealthy monster family, is considered by the Gromble to be his best student. She's the daughter of an overbearing mother named Sablina. I remember Sablina. Sublima. Favorite method is reaching within herself and pulling out her internal organs, which has considerable talent for shape-shifting into different terrifying forms. She has a talent for inducing nightmares in humans by sticking her fingers in their ears and tickling their brains while asleep. Oh boy. Yeah. All right. So it's a situation where like it depends. If this is something, if this is like nighttime, if this is nighttime, you have a decently strong character. But yeah, now this thing can win. This thing, it's all about the intimidation factor, right? Um, like why are geese so good, right? Like why is a goose so good? A goose doesn't have a winning matchup on almost any animal of like realistic size. But there is no intimidation factor in that bird, and it's able, like a peacock, right? They have no real attack power, but they spread their wings and they make a lot of noise and they act and they don't back down. That alone will win many fights. And Oblina is gonna scare the ever living crap out of what's below it. Any character that's below it, even Nigel Thornberry is gonna be completely running off, right? So like the fight is over before it even begins. Not powerful, not in reality, but anything below her, I think she loses to. Anything above her, I think defeats her. I think this is like the perfect placement for her right now. Geese are literally terrifying. They are. They are. They are, but they are more than what they actually are, right? Patrick, I'm gonna put above SpongeBob, but below Lincoln. I need to look him up. Patrick he's a starfish. Starfish obviously are gonna have a losing matchup on anything that is land based, which is what we're talking about here. No superpowers. Unfortunately, doesn't have much intelligence. Does derive some strength from that stupidity. Unfortunately, has a real resistance to pain, as made evident in many episodes. But yeah, not a truly powerful character to say the least. Yeah, shaping up pretty well. Cat Dog. Cat Dog. So at its finest, at its finest form, Cat Dog is like up here, and we're talking about like roided out Dog, right? When Dog was like roided out and had the ability to like take on, like what are the tell me look them up. Let me look them up. The other dogs in the neighborhood that are like much stronger, right? Um, the greaser dogs, yes. What kind of dog is this? All right. I guess it doesn't say what kind of dog he is, but you gotta imagine like Pitbull-esque of power. And Dog, when roided out, completely shuts down a pack of dogs that is led by basically a Pitbull. And Pitbulls have a winning matchup on humans. One-on-one fight, I am not taking on a Pitbull. You know, they do. So, with that being the case, I think Cat Dog beats Oblina, probably loses to. Yeah, and how do you like get through their shell, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, their defense is too strong. Never mind their offense, and they have weapons, right? So Cat Dog, sitting really strong. You know, putting there right there in the middle. Sandy Cheeks is a squirrel, a very strong martial artist squirrel, a powerlifting squirrel, but only as strong as is only a little stronger than a lobster, right? This is a roided out squirrel who's very smart, able to implement an well. Do I give the fact that she is incredibly smart and has access to an underwater like water layer to make weapons and create stuff? Do I like give that like more than I should? I'm probably giving that way too much respect. Let me look at her as a character. What does Wikipedia have to say? I'm probably giving that way too much respect. Sandra Jennifer Cheeks. I know her name was Sandra. That's pretty funny. All right, so all right. Extraordinary, yeah, complex events. Top character. Karate, engaged in bodybuilding. And a rodeo champion. She's a rodeo champion. And I would imagine, I was just thinking about that too before I even pulled this up. She's a rodeo champion, which means that even though she is as small as she is still riding bulls. Maybe I'm not overdoing. Maybe I'm not overthinking this. I mean, just think of like some of the crazy shit that she like made in some of these episodes, right? I mean, she once brought a butterfly down undersea, and the butterfly took over the city by itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I'm overdoing it. I don't think I'm overdoing it by putting her way up there. I don't. If she ever went mad scientist, like, I don't think I'm going crazy here. Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy. Ren is a cat, right? And Stimpy is like a little chihuahua looking thing. Yeah, a cat and a chihuahua. It's a fat red and white cat. All right. Human style buttocks. Okay. Flat human feet, four wiggly toes, and a brain the size of a peanut. Or a scientist. Yeah. Blissfully ignorant. Oh joy. I remember that. Sippy likes to create destructive electric devices. All right, and then Ren. Scrawny asthma hound. Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. A screaming klaxon, neon pink eyes dilating into his twin novae inches above his jagged monolithic teeth. Adventurous, intelligent, and emotionally brittle. Oh boy. He has a wrestling name. Or was a wrestler for a little bit. He's just a jerk. These guys, yeah. There's nothing crazy about them. I mean, do they go in the? I keep doing that. Do they go into the? I keep doing that too. Do they go into the nothing special tier, or are they wimpy? Maybe the bottom of nothing special. Okay, all right, all right. Before I get to these guys, I need to learn who April O'Neil is. I don't know why April O'Neil has two different ones. We're just gonna, let one go. But these guys, this is a topic we're talking about. This is like this is a conversation worth having right here. Um, all right, who is April? I don't even know who April even is. Where do you come from? Oh, you're from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too. Oh, you're from the reboot. Yeah, I didn't remember being a redhead. I don't remember being a redhead. That makes sense. I know my '80s TMNT. I don't know this generation's TMNT. In Northampton, Massachusetts. But the writers developed her into a competent warrior after training with Splinter. Okay, well, that's good. A freelance reporter. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, she's totally your vigilante crime fighter, like in every way, shape, and form. Not the turtles themselves, but on coming close. She definitely goes there. She definitely goes there. Yeah, respect, much respect. Okay, main event of the evening: Toph, Korra, Aang. Oh boy, this is a tough one. Cause yeah, with Danny Phantom and freaking Zim up there, man, the weakest of the three is obviously Toph. Now the question is she powerful but not a world threat, or is she a world destroyer? The fact that she has the ability to mold metal too is a huge deal. Is a huge deal. But at the end of the day, she is still blind and not the most resilient character you've ever seen. And does she beat the U.S. military? What does she do against airplanes? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does she do against anything that's aerial based? You know? She's taken down Reptar. Reptar doesn't stand a chance. Powder Toast Man might actually be a losing matchup. She has a winning matchup on Sandy Cheeks, who I'm going to put down here. She's on the top of Strong but Not Ridiculous. She's not superhero powerful. I take it back. She's not super. She's very powerful, but she's not superhero powerful. I'm putting Sandy Cheeks back down there. I mean, one spot, albeit, but it's a different tier. So yeah, I don't think she's a world beater. She takes them down. I don't think she's a world beater. Reptar, you're gonna lose to. Powder Toast Man could take out an airplane, and he can fly. He can fly. The Toph versus Zim matchup is interesting. She has a losing matchup on Danny Phantom, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. And that leaves us with Aang and Korra. It's a good debate. It's a very good debate. I don't know Korra nearly as well as I do Aang. Did a little bit of research before starting this episode. I consulted with a couple friends. And in a one-on-one matchup, it's a good match. It's a good fight. It's like 50-50 almost. Aang might win that one actually. But if we're talking about taking out the whole planet, I think Korra beats out Aang by a little bit. I think Korra is taking out Zim as well. The question is, is do these guys beat Danny Phantom? Is Danny Phantom our number one? Is Danny Phantom can assimilate? Danny Phantom can go ethereal. These guys can go avatar state. Can you beat a ghost? Can you somehow beat a ghost? Does any element do anything that beats a ghost? Now, before I go any further with that, I'm gonna look at the Aang really. I'm just gonna look at their profiles really fast, see if anything stands out. Yes, he could take away powers and block chi, but is chi what Danny Phantom is using? Does that even have an effect on him? All right. I'm gonna read this. The bending art Aang primarily uses in the entire franchise is a South Temple style based on eternal Chinese martial art called Bagzuhang. Aang is the only person in living memory to have mastered this form of airbending and would later pass down this knowledge to his son Tenzin, who with the aid of Korra would prove instrumental in reconstruction and preservation of air nomad oral and intangible cultural heritage, let's say. I'm trying to read like evoke intangibility of explosive wind power using techniques are intended to increase the difficulty for opponents to land direct or lethal blow. It's not going to hit a ghost. It's not going to hit a ghost. Waterbending. I mean, I'm probably going to say the same thing for everything I'm saying here. Counter offense is turning opponents' momentum against them despite the disadvantage of almost entirely inertia. Alright, earthbending, firebending. Energy bending. Let me read this. It's the last living. To gain cosmic energy from the universe. People's bending abilities after Amon remove them using blood bending. The avatar state. Okay. Is a bridge between the material world and the spirit world, a plane of existence where the universe's disembodied spirits dwell. Spiritual training progressed swiftly, granting visions of access to various memories of his past lives. He would not have learned in his lifetime. Is the Avatar state Danny Phantom? Danny uses plasma. He doesn't just use plasma though. He has like, let me look up this word really fast. Let me grab my phone really fast. It's like cryokinesis. What is that? Is that like psychic ability basically? Yeah, cryokinesis. Cryokinesis is the ability to basically freeze atoms, thereby causing objects to cool or freeze. So he has the ability to like freeze things with his mind to create ice and cold temperatures, which firebending does help. Not gonna lie, that does help ward that off a little bit. Yeah, cryokinesis. And he has like a shout that kind of mimics what airbending kind of does, but through energy and not through air, if that makes any sense. God damn it. Does Danny Phantom win this? And also, Danny Phantom can assimilate. He can assimilate. I don't think he can assimilate these guys in the Avatar state. And if it goes to blow, I think the Avatar state wins. If you're able to get to the Avatar state, what is Danny Phantom but a disembodied spirit? What is he but that? And if you're putting Aang in the same world as what Danny Phantom is, that's a losing matchup. That's a losing matchup. That is a losing matchup, I think. I'm going to go with that. That is a losing matchup. Well, if he's a ghost, he's not breathing. And does Aang know bloodbending? Well, but bending is not every single power. Can you bloodbend Superman's heat vision or his flight ability? No, that's not a bending. Bloodbending takes away bending ability. Yeah, and I don't see Aang doing that move in the first place. All right. So, oh boy. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's your tier list. That's the way it goes. Core number 1, SpongeBob, all the way at the bottom. Yeah, I kind of like this. And I even like the placement of the two. I'm going to say that this is not only tiered in order, but the characters within the tiers are also in order as well. So, yeah, that is my tier list. Feel free to discuss in the comment section. I'll be putting this up on YouTube, and yeah, hope you guys had fun with it. All right, that's done. Awesome.